GCC countries are blessed with a strategic geographical location in the middle of three continents. These countries also profit from a wealth of natural resources and from governments that understand the importance of reaping maximum benefit from this natural fortune. This has led to over 30 years of investment in plants and factories producing chemical fertilizers, detergents, artificial fibers, plastic, and simple petrochemicals, which has made it possible for the GCC manufacturing industry to be major players in the global market.
Manufacturing in the Gulf is not just limited to petroleum-related products. Today there are billions of dollars worth of investments in food processing plants and factories. For example, the dairies that are prevalent in the region's markets all originated in the Gulf. There are also industries that are associated with the rapid pace of development globally. For example, the Gulf today is one of the largest suppliers of transparent glass, batteries, and air conditioners. In fact, there are over 12 air conditioning factories in the Gulf, all of which produce and export air conditioners.
GCC countries have paid particular attention to conversional industries relying on their wealth in natural resources such as natural gas and oil. At the same time, governments in the region offer incentive packages encouraging the private sector to invest in all fields of industrial development.
As a matter of fact, one of the first themes of collaboration when the Council was first established related to these industries. Common agreements were signed reflecting the importance of developing this sector as one of great importance to national production. As a result, many conversional industries grew in the area. For example, we in the Emirates have around 3,030 industrial units employing around 230,000 workers with a total investment of around 63 billion dirhams.
من 3030 وحدة صناعية في الدولة توظف في حدود تقريبا 230 ألف عامل وتقريبا استثمارات تصل إلى في حدود 63 مليار درهم.
Consequently, the conversional industries sector in the region grew and developed at an unprecedented pace, leading to a major increase in the exports of GCC countries in the areas of chemicals, equipment, machines, and processed goods.
Worthy of mentioning here is that investments in manufacturing amounted to over $1 billion in 2003, and that figure is still climbing. The industrial sector in the GCC absorbs over 750,000 workers in more than 9,000 plants. The Council recognizes the importance of supporting and investing in these industries because they contribute to the strategic significance of the region's countries. They provide employment opportunities to nationals and achieve development by diversification rather than complete dependence on wealth stemming from the natural resources.
يمكن أن تحدث هناك ما يسمى بطفرة النمو. النمو لا يحدث فقط من خلال تراكم رأس المال وتراكم العمل، ولكنه يحدث من خلال تراكم المعرفة.
Petrochemicals are seen as the leading industry in the region. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the State of Qatar, and the State of Kuwait established plans for manufacturing chemical fertilizers and ethylene derivatives, hence marking the entry of GCC countries to new production fields such as perfumers and phenol derivatives. This industrial sector has grown to such an extent that the Gulf is now one of the most important centers in the world for the production of basic, medium, and final petrochemicals.
At present, manufacturing and conversional industries are the only alternative we have in the area to build our future national economies on resources rather than oil, as is the case at present.
أعتقد نعم راح يكون موجود كمثال بالنسبة لنا احنا بدأنا ب 1967 كمصنع.
For example, in 1967, we had one factory for refrigerators and water chillers. Today we have 5. This indicates that investments are available, and so is the demand for such investments.
In addition to the industries mentioned earlier, there are some smaller and medium-sized industries with products designed to replace imports and to be exported. Most notable of such industries is food processing, cement, ready-made clothing, paper, and wrapping material.
In confirmation of the region's potential in developing several paths, including industry, there are now companies in Saudi Arabia and in Kuwait that export their output to countries as far away as the United States, Europe, and Eastern Asia, among others. However, they have yet to achieve the level we want to see in our national industry. This is what I mean by strategic industries, ones which export and are competitive in terms of quality and price. We have achieved a high level of quality in products made in the Gulf. That is a natural result of the quality of equipment and manufacturing systems in use in our factories. They are all advanced and at state-of-the-art status. Additionally, electrical power and energy sources are cheaper here than anywhere else around the world, and we have access to clean water. All these factors contribute to successful high-quality manufacturing.
هذه السعودية أرض انولد فيها أرض شهدنا عليها خير الدنيا وما فيها.
Similar to the other GCC countries, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia prioritizes manufacturing and considers it to be central to the country's economic growth and its diversity. In addition to a solid infrastructure, the government of Saudi Arabia provides all forms of support to local industry through interest-free loans that are made available through the Industrial Development Fund, which has financed many projects since its establishment and which has contributed to the self-sufficiency of the kingdom in many products.
We have the labor and the technology, the geographical location, and the necessary finances. We in the Gulf have a well-established infrastructure in terms of roads, electrical power, and treated water.
تحلية مياه، من اللي هي أساس رئيسي للصناعة، كلها متوفرة.
Therefore, I can only imagine a bright future for the industrial sector in the Gulf region, not only for the aforementioned positive factors, but most importantly for the conviction that resides within authorities in the Gulf, that the private sector industrial initiatives are capable of taking part in successful enterprises.
قادر على أن يقيم صناعة مجدية وليست صناعة مثل ما كان يطلق.
They are certainly not examples of so-called white elephant industries where products and initiatives sit collecting dust and produce more cost and waste. I can't think of a project established in the Gulf area over the past 30 years that has failed. Therefore, governments are now convinced of the feasibility and viability of supporting industrial initiatives.
Saudi Arabia is considered among the leading countries in petrochemical production, where thousands of plants are currently in operation, distributed over 8 industrial areas that provide all the required facilities and services. In addition, there are 2 giant industrial cities in the areas of Jubail and Yanbu that were developed to the highest technological standards in the field of hydrocarbons and its derivatives, including supportive and secondary industries. These 2 cities also encompass the complexes of the Saudi company SABIC that produces petrochemicals, cement, minerals, metals, plastics, gases, and polyester. Saudi products have been able to penetrate world markets. These products are exported to 120 countries around the world.
Products made in the Gulf were not produced to serve the needs and wants of Gulf markets alone. As we well know, our markets were open to foreign products from the very beginning. At that time, there were virtually no custom duties on any foreign products. Therefore, when any products were made in the Gulf, they were designed and developed to compete with international products. They were therefore competitive products from day one and are now at a level where they can compete internationally. Of particular importance is competing on the basis of local prices and now internationally. Our products can be found in 122 markets around the world, whether petrochemical, food, electrical, or other products.
الكويت والأصل كوت، ما هي مجرد بحر وشوية بيوت.
In Kuwait, the government has realized that supporting and providing the industrial sector with incentives is the most viable choice for economic diversity, an objective which seeks to expand productivity and support the national economy through decreased imports and increased exports.
I consider the current economic climate to be the best for establishing factories in GCC countries. Now that oil has brought in a huge income and wealth is available, the time is right for proper investments, not only to diversify the economy and improve income, but also to address other issues on a social level.
طائلة موجودة في المنطقة يجب أن تستثمر صح، وأنا أعتقد الصناعة هي يمكن يكون الهدف الأساسي والتارجت اللي إحنا المفروض.
There is a definite need for collaboration and coordination among the region's countries to enhance integration.
داخل دول مجلس التعاون، وطبعا بالتأكيد هذا لن يتم إلا بالتعاون والترابط ووجود حلقة اتصال ما بين دول مجلس التعاون لتحقيق هذا الهدف.
Industry in Kuwait centers around 2 pivots. One is based on excavation, such as mining and fisheries. The other is based on conversion, such as fibers, paper, and petroleum-related industries. Manufacturing in Kuwait has enjoyed many achievements since the 1990s, and it is now the second source of national income after oil.
Government agencies would not have developed had it not been for the future outlook that exists. For example, over the past years, Kuwait established the Public Authority for Industry as an independent agency, a departure from where it was merely a department within the Ministry of Commerce. This indicates the attention Kuwait pays to industry. Today the focus is on developing the existing bodies within the authority where all value comes from.
Generally, the industrial structure of the Kuwaiti economy centers on four main pivots, the most important of which is the petroleum industries, followed by construction industries and industries related to overall demand. The petrochemicals industry represents the backbone of industry in Kuwait, as the country owns one of the largest petrochemical plants in the Middle East, the Equate compound.
هذه الإمارات، هذه الإمارات، دولة الحضارات.
Industry in the United Arab Emirates has also enjoyed some notable achievements during the 1990s, alongside other non-petroleum sectors, which have increased their contribution to the country's GDP.
We in the Emirates have around 3,030 industrial units employing around 230,000 workers, with a total investment of around 63 billion dirhams. There is no doubt that these are good figures.
The growth the industrial sector has achieved is mainly due to the sizable investments made in this sector. Many factories and plants have been established in the region, and many larger industries have also been started. For example, those depending on hydrocarbon and energy resources. Additionally, many industries centered on consumption have been successful in covering a good proportion of the local market, like meat processing, dairy, light goods, clothing, furniture, plastic, metal products, construction, as well as fiberglass. One area that has enjoyed particular success and growth are the medicinal industries. Today, in the United Arab Emirates alone, there are more than 10 medicine factories. Investments made in the food and nutrition sector have also contributed to the overall growth potential of the industry in the area, making the sector attractive to large investors. This growth has also led to investment in technology essential to these plants and factories. Today, there are 9 free trade zones in the country that have attracted the presence of over 3,000 global companies and more than 35 billion dirhams worth of investments.
نذكر قطر، نذكر قطر وتجارة البحر وأهل الصيد والغوص على الدرر.
The state of Qatar's emphasis on the development of industry stems from the country's strategic choice in making industry a source of national income and as an attractive place for investment and financing. Industry in Qatar has gone through many natural phases, starting with craftsmanship and simple handmade products prior to the discovery of oil, such as shipbuilding and the formation of metal tools, tents, and clothing. Post-petroleum industries include natural gas processing, cement, chemical fertilizers, and oil refining.
I believe we have the makings of success in industry in the GCC region. I specifically mean medium and conversional industries, industries that we have a real need for. We need to make sure they develop so that they compete on the international market. I see a huge gap between upstream and hydrocarbon industries and middle industries, which may negatively impact on the economies of the Gulf. We should work on narrowing this gap, particularly in the light of the availability of great infrastructure and raw materials, which account for 80% of the cost in plastic manufacturing, for example. In my opinion, this is a great advantage that could be relied on when competing internationally. GCC governments provide unlimited support to conversional industries. Banks provide credit facilities. The socio-political environment is also supportive, and there's no doubt that the situation is very attractive to foreign investors.
Both the government and the private sector play a role in the industrial development process of the state of Qatar. The government sector is active in building large industries that center on the natural resources of the country, such as natural gas and petroleum, while the private sector, supported by government, initiates many small to medium industries where industrial areas and zones are created, among other incentives.
من ماضي الأزمان مذكور اسم عمان، من ماضي الأزمان مذكور اسم عمان.
The industrial sector of the Sultanate of Oman is regarded as the sector most capable of achieving the Sultanate's strategic objectives of diversifying the foundation of the economy and the sources of income. A number of industrial zones were established for attracting and supporting industries, commerce, and development in the surrounding areas.
The government of Oman has allocated areas around the country where industrial infrastructure is developed to promote industrial activities and investments from inside and outside the Sultanate.
In areas such as this, there are many industries such as copper, iron, aluminum, and petrochemicals. A natural gas processing compound was established in the Galhad area, while Salalah is seen as a major center for heavy industries such as oil refining, fertilizers, aluminum melting, methanol, and urea in the Sur area.
أرض الأساطير ومختلف العصور، أرض سكنها الخير في الماضي المشهور، مملكة البحرين ما تخطيها أي عين من يومنا هذا لماضي السنين.
In the Kingdom of Bahrain, the state has developed several large, medium, and small industrial institutions that are active in all fields. The most prevalent industry in Bahrain is oil refining, petrochemical, and aluminum. In addition to shipbuilding and the repair industry that have existed in the country for a long time, the Gulf Petrochemical Industries Company was established in 1979 in partnership with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the State of Kuwait. The company produces methanol and ammonia. The Kingdom of Bahrain has also established a new compound for petrochemicals at the cost of over $1 billion for the production of ethylene and propylene.
اليوم اللي يقود الطفرة الصناعية
Saudi Arabia is leading the industrial movement in the Gulf region.
هم خليجيين. السعودية اليوم أنا أتكلم خبرتي في السعودية يعني 90%.
Today, the industry accounts for over 10% of the country's national income, and I'm sure similar percentages exist at similar level in the rest of the
كل
Gulf.
السعوديين وهذا شجع في عملية فالصناعة بعد أن كانت حلم أصبحت حقيقة. اليوم تمثل الصناعة حوالي 11% من الناتج القومي في السعودية، وأنا متأكد نفس النسبة على المستوى الخليجي.
Today, development is measured by a country's industrial advancement. Industry became a means for achieving economic and social development, for diversifying sources of income, and for benefiting from technological advancement and improving life. Manufacturing has become the strategic choice for the countries of the Gulf in achieving economic development. They are now striving to establish vast and state-of-the-art industries in a record time.